Okay, just a few more. Yeah. So, I think we have all the people that we're going to have. Okay, so just pause that music. Alright, so tonight we're going to introduce an important topic. Can you hear me on the Instagram live?
Mr. Young, if you're talking, I'm not really hearing you.
Okay, sorry about that. Can you hear me clearer now?
You still sound like you're far away from the computer or the phone.
Alright, let me try to adjust the volume. Let me know if this is better.
That is better. That is better.
Okay, awesome. So tonight we're looking at an important topic. Now, what this whole first 2 weeks before the start is testing, just to see how people react to different parts of the course, and if you kind of have the mindset to grasp it. So again, not asking to have math or English or anything beforehand. As long as you can read and write, you can learn web development and you can do coding. That's my personal belief, and this course is going to prove that if nothing else. So we have learned how to do different adjustments to text on web pages, because I mean it's mostly text we're working at right now at this point. So we have done things before like change the color of text, but we're going to actually look at the way that professionals would actually do it and not in the basic functions that we have been using to get it. But nothing more than an example to demonstrate that. The Instagram people are not typing to respond if they can hear. It is live on Instagram, but they're not typing to say they can hear. But if they don't want to say anything, then I don't know what to do. So let's first of all look at the code area. And you can see that welcome student. Well, I could actually, let me actually delete the spaces here because I want to show how they, remember that we use the tags to format HTML. So anybody that's just joined us for the first time, when you see these tags in these angle brackets that look like a less than and greater than sign, those are used to form H1 tags for here for header. That's why this text is this size here. If we change it to H2, you would see the size change. This P here means paragraph. That's why the word Instagram will appear on a separate line like that. Okay. So, like what you see over here. Everyone seen my screen on Skype, by the way? Everyone seen my Skype, the screen share of CodePen?
Yes, sir.
Okay, awesome. All right, so now notice that I have the words in red. How did I do that when there's nothing here talking about making the words red? Now here's where actually you use CSS when you want to make changes to the colors. Not by using the style element directly in the HTML. That's really the old school way, and it's not really the efficient way. It is very limited. So when you actually want to do proper styling, even something as simple as changing the color, you use the CSS, which actually modifies the HTML. All right. So CSS is not HTML, but it modifies HTML. So who can tell me what I could do to change the color of the words to blue.
I guess where you have the word red, you could just put blue.
All right, so let me go ahead and do that. All right, and the words did change to blue. Okay, so I want you to be able to access this code pen so you can play around it. So I'm going to actually paste the code pen so that people can get to play around with it as well. If you're on a laptop, you can do that now. Obviously, if you're watching on a phone, you can't do that right now. I see somebody typing. Maybe I should wait for this question to come through. Shani raised her hand. Okay, Shani, somebody's typing, so I can read their question after. Shani, go ahead and ask your question.
Sir, could you repeat what you said about the CSS with the getting the font color in a different without it
Oh,
being
right,
seen on
right.
HTML?
No, what I was saying is that CSS actually modifies the HTML, right? You following me? So
Yes, yes, I
without
am.
yeah, so if there was no HTML there with any content, there would not be nothing for the CSS to do. The CSS is what does styling of anything, appearance, shape. It does tons of things. You're gonna be learning just a little bit of a introduction today, tonight to see how that really works. Now the background is set to black. If I change it to white, then the background becomes white. But notice it's modifying the entire HTML here, and the entire page will be changed to white. So what's the big deal with all of this? Okay. Now, if you notice, I have the Instagram word in that paragraph. Can everybody see that there? You can type yes if you can see that. I'm looking for the question. I think somebody was typing a while ago.
Yeah.
Um,
Yes, sir.
all right, good. So now this paragraph tag here has its own ability to be styled. So I can make the word Instagram be styled differently from the rest. See if anybody else is asking a question. Somebody's typing. They have stopped typing. Okay. All right. So let me go ahead and try to do a little experiment here. Let's see if we can actually style the paragraph that Instagram is in differently. So I'm gonna go in the CSS section. Let's type color green. Nothing happening. Notice something interesting. Somebody has their mic open. Let's see who I need to. If you're not speaking, then don't have your mic open. Yeah, that's the golden rule. All right. So, any questions before I move on? You see that I just changed Instagram green using this section here of code, right? Any questions that anybody has? Speak up. Let's hear it. It would be good if you had the code pen to play around with while you're listening right now. But if you don't and you have a question, just ask me right now. I'll pause. All right, so no questions. All right, so notice that how we use the CSS is that we have the HTML element. So in this case, we're modifying the H1. Then you have two curly brackets, and what goes in between those curly brackets are the attributes you want to modify. In this case, it was the color. In this case, color again. In this case, color again. We're just using something simple like color before we try to explore anything else. I want just to show you how you can modify various parts of HTML code. But please bear in mind, it has to be something that is in the HTML section because we have HTML here that we can modify. We have an H1 tag here. We have a paragraph tag here. We learned that in a previous lesson. But if we didn't have a paragraph tag here, so let me delete the paragraph tag here. And so the word Instagram becomes blue because it has nothing to mark it as a paragraph, which in the CSS was being styled green. Okay? The only reason why I changed to green was because it was in a paragraph, and you make something in a paragraph by putting the text that you want to put in a new paragraph. Okay? And it's back in green because the CSS was modifying the paragraph tag. Or if I don't want the Instagram to be in blue, the other way I could remove the green is to just remove the CSS that changed it to green. Okay? So I can delete the CSS for the paragraph tag. And as you see here, it would no longer be modified. So it would have to be blue because that's the only color that's available for H1. Paragraph tag to be green. And let me show you something here. If I add, let's add some new tags here. Okay? So please pay attention to the HTML at the top. I'm going to add a header to tag just because I want it. Now, what do you notice, everybody, about the text? You can type or you can talk, whichever one you prefer. You can type or you can talk. Hello, somebody. I've been sounding here like a preacher now.
I think the text is a bit smaller.
What else do you notice about the text? What's the color of the text?
It's in black.
What do you mean still black? It was something before?
I'm
It has
saying it is in black. The color is black.
Okay, but why isn't it in blue or green?
because you never set it to turn blue or green, I guess.
Yeah, no need to guess. No, there was no code to modify the color in the CSS, and there's certainly none in the HTML. All right, so for the CSS, let's look at something else. So I made the paragraph tag in the CSS code area green. So if I add another paragraph tag, would I have to repeat anything here in the CSS? Let's see what happens. So I'm gonna just put another random paragraph tag there. Um, or it appeared in green, even though this top paragraph wasn't there before. Why do you think it appeared in green, even though I just typed that paragraph?
Because in the CSS it said for paragraph it didn't specify as in which paragraph, but it says paragraph should be in green.
Yeah, that's the point. Once you set a tag to be a particular attribute, such as color green, every time you create a paragraph, it's going to inherit that. So if I created 10 more paragraphs, they're all going to be in green because that's what I selected them to be. Now, there's a way that you can have individual paragraphs being different colors, but we're not going to get into that right now, right? We're just going one step at a time in terms of how we use the CSS. This is just a basic introduction as to how we use it. All right, now, of course, I like to have more practical than talking and theory, so go ahead and play around with it. If you're using your mobile phone, hopefully you wrote down the code on a piece of paper in your notebook, and now you can go on CodePen on your browser and try to practice it. Remember, I pasted the link in the Skype, so you can just click on it and it will open CodePen on your phone. If somebody is using the phone and having a problem getting the CodePen up or something, just let me know. All right, I'm going to give you 5 minutes, and I want you to change the CSS to be different from what I have on the screen here. Preferably different text also, so it would be more, you know, it would be a better contrast to what I have here for the class. So do whatever you want with the CSS, as in change the color of whatever you want, add in whatever tags you want, but I just want to see a different change, but it must be styled with the CSS. So for example, you can make something a different color from what I have here. Just go ahead and play around with it. Change at least 2 or 3 parts of the code in the HTML, or you can add your own HTML, write whatever you want to write in the HTML, use the correct tags, and use the CSS to style the color. Let me give you 5 minutes to do that, and then we'll ask for person to share their screen. Thank you. All right, for those who will watch the replay, you can pause the video